So for the next parts of these questions, what you would then do is you would look at for the compounded quarterly, and the only thing that's going to change is the compounded quarterly tells you that n is going to equal 4 because you're compounding it each 4 times throughout the year for each quarter. But the formula is still going to be the same. You're still going to use the A equals P times 1 plus R over N to the NT. And for the next question, when they say compounded monthly, again, it's not continuous, so you're going to use the same formula that we used up above. And the only change that's going to happen is because it is compounded monthly, your N is going to have to equal 12 for the 12 months of the year. Where things do change is on part D, because in part D, they start talking about how the money is compounded continuously. So when it's compounded continuously, that's when we have to use our PERT formula. So what we would do is we would have A is equal to PE to the RT. The principal is still the same principal that it was in part A. So still the 25,000, the R is still 0.05, the T is still 7. So you would have 25,000, E, the R is 0.05, the T is 7. Now, here is where you have to be really careful about how you type this in on your calculator. So if you just type it in as you see it, you have the 25,000, you would hit second division or second LN, and then raise it. And a lot of times students will do the second division caret, and then type in the 0.05 times 7. And if you look at this, this answer should be a little suspicious that you're starting with 25,000 and you're somehow ending up with almost over $183,000. The problem here, and the reason why you're getting such a crazy number, is because when you put this in your calculator as 25,000, E and then caret 0.05 times 7, what the calculator is doing is it's calculating all of this and then multiplying that answer by the 7. So you're going to get like a crazy bigger number than you should be getting using this PERT formula. So the remedy for that is that we have to make sure when we type it in on the calculator that we raise it to the power, but then we put parentheses around this whole exponent. So parentheses around the 0.05 and then the times 7 and close your parentheses. And that way you'll ensure that the 0.05 and the 7 are part of the power. So if you do that, you have 25,000, second division, caret, open a parenthesis, 0.05 times 7, and then close your parenthesis. And that gives you an answer that is much more reasonable to expect for a compounded interest. So again, always be careful with your rounding. What you would have is you would have 35,476.6. This second decimal of an 8 would get rounded up to a 9 because the third decimal is of course greater than 5. So again, if you use the second division button, you really have to be careful about putting the parentheses there for all of that exponent.